In 332 BC, a 25-year-old king named Alexander the Great had already crushed the Persian Empire's armies. But one city refused to surrender. It was an island fortress so strong that even Alexander, the man who conquered the known world, almost failed. That city was Tyre, and its sister city, Sidon, had already fallen. But Tyre fought for 7 brutal months. This is the story of how 2 tiny Phoenician island cities nearly stopped the unstoppable conqueror. The Phoenician powerhouses, Tyre and Sidon, before Alexander. By the 4th century BC, Tyre and Sidon were 2 of the wealthiest and most powerful cities in the ancient world. Tyre was built on an island 800 meters offshore, surrounded by massive walls 45 meters high in places, with 2 harbors, one on each side. Sidon, just 40 kilometers north, was the older sister, famous for purple dye, Tyrian purple, glassmaking, and shipbuilding. Both cities were master mariners. Their ships traded from Britain to India, supplying cedar wood to Egypt's pharaohs and tin to Mycenaean Greece. They had paid tribute to the Persians for 200 years, but when Alexander arrived in 333 BC, after defeating Darius III at Issus, everything changed. Sidon surrenders, the first domino. Alexander marched south along the coast after Issus. Sidon, weakened by Persian rule, opened its gates without a fight in late 333 BC. The king of Sidon, Abdalanimus, was reinstated as a puppet ruler. Alexander used Sidon's fleet and harbors as a base. Tyre watched nervously. They knew what was coming. Tyre's leaders sent a message. We will allow Alexander to sacrifice to Melkart, their god, equivalent to Heracles, but only in the mainland temple, not inside the island city. Alexander's reply, I will take your city and sacrifice in your temple myself. War was declared. The siege of Tyre, the impossible conquest. Tyre was impregnable. Island location, no land approach. Double walls, towers, catapults on the ramparts. Powerful navy, 80-plus warships. Alexander had no fleet at first, but he captured Sidon's ships and hired Cypriot and Phoenician defectors, 90-plus ships total. His plan? Build a causeway, mole, from the mainland to the island, 1 kilometer long, 60 meters wide. He used rubble from the old mainland Tyre, trees from Lebanon cedars, and stones from the ruins. Tyrians fought back. Arrow barrages, boiling sand, fire ships, divers cutting chains underwater, naval battles in the harbors. After 4 months, Alexander captured the Tyrian fleet in a daring night raid. He then used battering rams on floating platforms and siege towers taller than the city walls. In July 332 BC, after 7 months, Alexander's troops breached the walls. The city fell. Massacre. 8,000 Tyrians killed, 30,000 sold into slavery. Alexander crucified 2,000 survivors along the shore as a warning. He entered the temple of Melkart and sacrificed, fulfilling his promise. Aftermath and legacy. Tyre never fully recovered its independence. Alexander's causeway is still there today. It turned the island into a peninsula. Sidon fared better. It became a key Hellenistic city and later Roman. The siege showed Alexander's genius and his ruthlessness. It also proved that even the greatest conqueror could be delayed by determined defenders. Tyre and Sidon's resistance delayed Alexander by half a year, time that almost changed history. Closing and call to action. Tyre and Sidon weren't just cities, they were symbols of Phoenician defiance. They gave the world purple dye, the alphabet, and ships that connected civilizations. And for 7 months, they almost stopped Alexander the Great. Next time you look at a map of Lebanon and see that thin strip of land connecting Tyre to the mainland, remember, that was built by one man's obsession and the blood of thousands.